definitely have some good time here. I want to know what you think about John Irolls, man. John Irolls, man. It's like it's been a while. Like I don't want to go on a happy to sad, real.
But
speak on him. Speak on him.
Crack this adult beverage for him. So
cheers, man.
To the homie J.E. Be resting in peace.
J.E., man. Yo, shout out to the homie J.E. That's real quick. I got to do one. Yo, shout out to the homie J.E. If anybody doesn't know J.E., Mr. John E. was a very good friend of ours. Probably one of our mutual friends is how he actually is how we connected. But I've told a couple stories about him to people not on the podcast, but the guy was a freaking smart kid, and he didn't live too long to live out his full potential. And even saying that, speaking on that, I've never even said that out there to anybody. So just know that this person that we do speak about, John E., he was a very good man. And he definitely deserves a praise. And if he was here right now, he'd be doing some good things. And he would have some pretty funny things to say. He would be like the South Park of like our century or of our millennial century or like whatever. But anyway, speak on him, bro. Speak on him, my dude.
Man, I know that there were some people that, probably thought he was weird and he was this and he was that and, probably got some negative things to say about him. But, man, y'all didn't know him. Like, he was seriously the funniest and most kind-hearted person.
Yep.
I swear that I have ever met.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he would tease you and act, like this, that, or the other thing. But deep down at the end of the day, he was a good dude. And he still is. And he's a great man. And he really shows the half full view on life. That's how he always lived was the half full view. And I don't know what happened exactly. As far as that accident goes, I'm sure that there's been some debate. I don't remember all the details on that.
For sure.
But it was an auto accident, and that's not what I'm here to discuss.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's a great person, and unfortunately he got taken away way too soon.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. An unfortunate accident. And it's just it's rough to speak on, but it's also unfortunately a good time to remind people, don't
why it's important.
Clown in cars, man. And not that's the PSA. Don't clown in cars,
Yep.
Either way you go.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I don't know if I can drive. Don't. No matter what it is, whether you're tired, you're drunk, you're high, it don't matter. It doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing.
Speak on it.
If you feel like, oh, I don't know. If you don't know, then that's no. Don't do it. Anything. That's common sense, which we need more of.
Yep.
But, I mean, and don't drive, like an idiot, especially in back roads and stuff like that. Those blind corners, not only could you take your own life, you could take other people's lives. You could take innocent people that, like the Amish that are riding in on horse and buggies that don't believe in having, taillights and stuff, or you could see them too late and take their lives away.
Yep.
You guys have to be responsible with it. Put the phone down and fucking drive, and don't drive like idiots all the time. You're going to get there one way or another. But that's me preaching on the whole driving thing. It annoys me driving down the road and seeing so many people on their phones.
It's crazy, bro.
Dude, I watched someone doing 65 going down doing 65. They got their phone mounted up in the dashboard, right? And what are they doing? They're watching ESPN. while they're driving, and they're driving like this.
That is so fucking I apologize for Lane. That's so unsafe, bro.
They're doing 65, 70, and they were passing me, so they had to be going faster than that. They were probably doing like 75 to 80, watching ESPN, not paying attention to the road. Come on,
Absolutely.
y'all.
Absolutely. That is sketch.
Are sports that much of your life that you can't take your eyes off of the ESPN app for 30 minutes to get to work safe?
They got to get their fix. Oh, the sports, but the sports, the sports have been gone though, Rich. Nah, bro, but that doesn't give you a reason to drive and watch it, dude. No.
Kill me, motherfucker. Which, by the way, I don't know if we recorded this earlier. This episode is not for children. Like,
it's not,
there's coarse language. So,
I try to be professional, but we go way back, and we've definitely had some potty mouth freaking conversations that have been the realest conversations I've probably had with like majority of the people that I've met in my life. So,
yeah, that's what this is. This is a real nitty gritty. We'll keep it. We'll keep it as professional as we can, but like it a little explicit now and then. So
heck yeah, bro.
I mean,
freaking yeah.
You ain't containing 15 years of friendship.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard. It's gonna be kind of hard to filter that. Yeah, because freaking look, man. Conspiracy theories, because I know you and I gets down. What's your thought on conspiracy theories? Because now we're hitting them chambers. Boom, 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 boom. We're hitting them, bro. What's up?
I mean, where do you want to start?
Look, man. Let's okay, actually, let's just keep it to something that is just going on now. That video I sent you, the American contingency thing, that's not really a conspiracy video, but that's like actual facts though. But it can come into, I guess some people would see it as conspiracy. Just let me get the outline and then I'll just say, what do you think about it? So off that video, it sounds like this guy has definitely built this video around or some kind of website for information for people to be on a private, I guess, server. Let me put it on me here, a private server and or a private website. You have info about what's going on. I guess it's not like geo tracking, but it's knowing whether if there's people protesting or anything in your environment, in your community or whatever, in your city. And it's a bunch of people. Not only is it providing that information, it's almost a website for other people to communicate about how to operate firearms and to have like some highly trained professional people teach others to operate like weapons. And then it also falls into, if I guess a contingency, if anybody doesn't know what contingency is, it's a plan B. It's something else, a plan C, B to whatever is going on now. And what that's referring to right now is a plan B if an EMP, or not even an EMP, we'll keep it in the parameters of what's actually feasible, that we could say. Not saying that getting hit by an EMP is not feasible, but what the guy was talking about in the video, what the website is about and what the info is sharing, what all that is about is at the end of this year, it's a political year. And I don't really talk about politics too much, but that video has a lot of real day-to-day info that anybody should be listening and can use for their own personal use. That being said, there's a contingency for, at the end of this year, it's a political year, Donald Trump and Joe Biden and whoever else is going to be running for the presidential, election. Now, if what is being said, I guess, off the video is why all this is being made, is because plan B, what happens on the day after or that day, and who will win and what sides. It sounds like, depending on who wins, one side is not going to be happy, or both sides are not going to be happy. Obviously, both sides are going to be happy or not going to be happy, because this is all freaking crazy. But anyway, my question to you is, with all that in that video, what are your thoughts on
that? Okay, so
not to hit you like with all that, but yeah.
Oh no! You're good. You can't see it because the camera's cutting it off, but I'm rubbing my hands together.
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, as far as the contingency plan goes, and as far as being educated and aware and willing to defend yourself and your family, I'm not talking about the president. I don't give a fuck about the president. I don't give a fuck about whoever's running against him. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the way that this contingency plan is for, which we should probably put that link up.
Yes, I was gonna say I am gonna put that link up, and I'm actually gonna get the guy's name and everything like while we're talking about this. But continue.
Yeah, you know what this is talking about is it's talking about if there are riots that break out.
Thank you.
In your area, right? Or a natural disaster, right?
Yes.
Either way, a tornado rips through your community. You get hit with a hurricane. You get hit with riots. Whatever the case may be, this social media platform will allow you to access the platform while you may not have Wi-Fi and data and all of that, which is great, because if we do not get hit with an EMP,
yes, speak on it. Oh.
So living in Houston, for anybody that pays attention to the news, I don't know, maybe everybody's just focused on the riots and how the Democrats are saying that the Republicans are handling the riots like shit. But if anyone actually pays attention to the news, the U.S. ordered China to shut down their embassy here in Houston. And what did they do? They spent all night burning documents in the courtyard of the embassy in Houston.
That's crazy.
Now, and people wonder why the U.S. government wants to ban TikTok.
Dude, I don't mess with TikTok. Yeah,
no,
continue.
Hell, it's Chinese spyware.
Yes. Shout out to like my friend Ashley. She needs to watch this. This is a timestamp for her. Continue.
This is all the TikTok is all Chinese spyware, and I swear, if you do not believe me, please don't just take my word for it. Please actually do your research on it and look at it. It is a Chinese-based app that is stealing information. Now, what you see on the surface is you see the surface of this cute little, it's like Vine, because everybody wants to, relive the Vine days and everything else. But this isn't like Vine, because
it's definitely not.
They're data mining, and they're taking your information. They're taking your locations. They're taking audio. They're taking everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to start diving into conspiracies, y'all better start covering your fucking laptop cameras if you leave them open, because I guarantee you they're watching you.
Somebody's jumping onto your little screen and watching, and
I guarantee you someone's
recorded
right now, because the NSA and the wiretaps and everything are very true and very real.
Absolutely.
They'll probably be watching
out to the feds
say anything offensive, which we're not. Hey, law abiding, just talking about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, though, is that you have to be ready for when shit hits the fan.
Absolutely.
EMP,
shout out to my homie Dante. Yep.
EMP disasters are a whole different scale of readiness, right?
Absolutely.
That's a whole nother scale. You have to be on a whole different level. You have to be ready for, you have to have like a manual car, you have to know how to drive a stick shift. You have to know a lot of this. And for those that don't know what EMP devices are, they're electromagnetic pulses, which knock anything that's electronic off the grid, so you can't use it. We wouldn't be able to have this conversation right now because there would be no network, no power, no nothing. There would be absolutely nothing except for what can rely on mechanical energy.
Facts.
And with that, right, that's a whole different level of preparedness. And society at that point, at least American society, is going to collapse at that point if we hit an EMP disaster and people cannot access the Googles and the YouTubes and everything else. Oh, look at that.
And it's listening. Yeah, I heard that.
Y'all heard that, right? Seriously, leave that in. Oh, and now it's not showing up on my phone. Isn't that funny? There's nothing showing up on my phone.
Mine does that all the time.
But
that's a nice screensaver, though, or background.
Thank you,
yes.
Mr. Jason Voorhees. But yeah, I mean, you know, I was listening to, I'm going to sound like an old man here, but I was listening to NPR one day, and they were talking about
News Public Radio.
Yeah, which, you know, hey, it's all about being informed. I don't give a shit if I sound like an old man.
Yes, it's all about being informed, brother. Go ahead.
You know, they were talking about Alexa and how, you know, what Alexa is and everything else. And, you know, there's people that are listening to you on your Alexa device. Yep. Your Alexa device is listening to you 24/7. It's constantly listening. Mm-hmm. And I forget who it was that that was on the that it was from Amazon and Alexa, but they said that he would actually go over and turn the microphone off on his Alexa devices so that nobody would potentially be listening. Said that it's a very small chance and very small percentage that somebody is listening. Mm-hmm. But just to completely eliminate that fact, he shuts off the mic. And that's someone that works for Amazon. Yeah. So if they're on that level of paranoia, why aren't we? That's a lot. You know, and I mean, look at how many apps have access to your microphones and your cameras and your pictures and all of this stuff. Where do you think all this information goes? And especially on TikTok, if you're allowing it access to your cameras and everything, which is where we started this conversation at. Yeah. If you're allowing it access to your videos and your cameras and your locations and all of this different stuff,
they're getting everything from it.
And it's a Chinese-based, you know, the app that's developed. Who do you think is going to get all of this information? It's going to go straight back to China, and China is going to analyze that data and use it for evil shit because China is evil.
And you can look into that. I just pulled up a little thing for it, but you could definitely look it up and for yourselves, folks.
Huge shout out to fucking South Park for not bowing down and sucking China's little fucking dick in the episodes that they did, because fuck the NBA for them bowing to China and not allowing the hashtag Free Hong Kong posters.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
fuck
I support
Apple
that.
Removing the fucking all the flags and everything else that they're doing. Fuck you. That is not fucking cool.
Yeah, I definitely don't support that. There's a lot of like heinous stuff going on, and with all this going on, and when I mean all of this is just the current events, you definitely see where people's where their power lies, where their loyalty lies, excuse me. But obviously you can see who has the power, because obviously now these small businesses are being pushed out, and now these big businesses are like the ones that are really making the money during all this. But that's yes.
And also, I mean, you know, you want to talk about, you know, like big powers and things like that. Mm-hmm. And sticking on the conspiracy theory thing.
Oh, man, let's get it.
I'm a huge believer that all of these riots and these protests and everything are being pushed from somewhere.
Oh, it have to be.
They have to be, because
George Soros, freaking Antifa-backed Black Lives Matter. Dude, it's so crazy. Tell me more. Speak on this, brother.
I mean, and I know that this is gonna blow the fuck up.
A lot of people. Yeah.
This is because I mean, look at this. Oh my God, I'm white. Oh shit. But at any rate,
shout out to the old lady, bro.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend in the background.
Hi.
This is a hidden agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter movement, not what it stands for.
Yeah, it's the people running it.
The rioting that is being associated with it, and this movement that is coming, that is attaching itself to it, that unfortunately has to gather the Black Lives Matter grouping, because where Black Lives Matter is, this riot group comes in behind them and fucks everything up.
Yeah.
That group there is being pushed by someone. And
for sure.
They're making it an absolute hellhole. And unfortunately, they're so good at it that they're making the Republicans look like shit. And, you know, I'm not saying this is a liberal Republican thing, but I'm just talking in realities. They are great at making the Republicans look like shit, because the Republicans have no idea how to handle this type of pressure. And if you don't believe me, look at the way that the Republicans are reacting. They're trying to get a handle on it, and they have no idea how to do it. Whereas, you know, the way that this is being presented and flooding, it's making them look like evil people because of snippets, audio cuttings, everything else.
Yes.
And, you know,
they're being attacked right now, I feel like.
They're being slaughtered right now. And it's unfortunate. And I don't think that people understand that, you know, the Republican Party, if you really look at it, is not as evil as people may think that it is.
Okay.
But you have to look at it, and you actually have to educate yourself. That's the thing. So there's a lot of stuff that's actually trying to be put into motion. And you can disagree with me. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm just saying, if you actually look at some of the stuff that was trying to be passed, like stimulus checks and everything else that rolled through, do a little bit of research on all of that, and who pushed what, and what was held up in the bill, and why it took so long to reach out. That's all I'm going to say. Please just read into that and see what the other loopholes and attachments were to that bill and why it took so long.
Okay. Do the knowledge on that, folks. Do the research, please.
Seriously, do the research. And, you know, I mean, I can point you to a podcast that will kind of, you know, explain, you know, at least some of it, you know, at least one side of it. And you know, for anyone that's in Houston that doesn't like him, it's the Dan Crenshaw Podcast. But if you actually listen to what he has to say, and, you know, you're doing it for your research purposes, just go in, you know, it's all about keeping an open mind.
Yeah.
Listen to what he was talking about the stimulus checks, held up with it, and why it was a huge ordeal. But at any rate, but yeah, man, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff that's happening, and it's moving around in the system that we're not aware of.
A lot of moving parts.
And there is. And, you know, if you actually pay attention to the actual news headlines that are popping up, you know, like about Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend that's being left around.
Let's speak on it, my dude. Oh, speak on it.
I mean, you know, there's actual stuff that's going on. She's being moved around from cell to cell to protect her from assassins. No.
Bro, hold up. Before you get into this, just real quick, while I show people this, I need you to give me like a little 30-second synopsis of this Jeffrey Epstein guy. Just real quick. For the people that been living under a rock and they don't know this dude.
I mean, if you don't know... oh, awesome.
Can you see this?
I can see the screen. So they're unsealing her documents. So this is Jeffrey Epstein. And I mean, I'm sure that I think that's him and his girlfriend there.
Jeseline, yeah.
So apparently they're involved in a huge government Hollywood pedophile ring, and they are willing to testify.
It's so crazy, bro.
There's our commander and queen. You know,
stuff. There's Jeseline.
But you know, I mean, there's all types of information that can be going on with this. But you know, he had allegedly killed himself by hanging himself, which is most everyone knows is a load of bullshit.
Facts.
But she is willing to testify, and they're gonna be unsealing her documents soon. And this here is going to shatter. If this can actually get out, this will shatter so much shit apart.
Absolutely.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, and there's, you know, seriously, people look into this type of stuff and you know, call us crazy, loony, nut jobs, whatever. But
tinfoil hat. Shout out to the tinfoil hat podcast. Sam
right.
Yeah.
Let's actually take a second to think about where this stuff is coming from, and take a step back and look at where diversions are at and where the headlines are, right? You know, I mean, everyone's blowing up about all these protests and the Republicans and everything, but yet all this other attention is being pulled elsewhere, and it's creating a diversion. And
absolutely, that's psyop, bro.
Oh, you have
speaking on it.
You have to look at it.
Psyops, bro.
You know, I mean, it happens all the time. And, you know, it's just a matter of, you have to look at both sides of what's happening. And you know, just, you have to actually pay attention nowadays, because you can be led astray just at the drop of a hat. You can be led astray by so much false information and everything.
Absolutely. Please do your research, folks. Please.
Yes, please do. And, you know, and if you're wrong, just admit that you're wrong on something too, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I know it is, trust me, but you got to sometimes, man. You got to all the time. But sometimes you really have to.
Proven anything wrong on my end, send it to me. I don't care, send it. I would love to know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But have healthy discussions about it. Don't just jump into, you know.
We don't need none of that BS. Nah, bro. No cap.
And that's the other thing too, you know. Let's take a look at, you know, these people that are dividing so hard along party lines against, you know, Republican and Democrat. You know, why are we wearing these red and blue jerseys so damn hard? You know, like we're just sitting here preaching on these two colors, and it's ride or die type shit, and I don't understand the party affiliation so deeply.
Neither do I, man. Dude, it's so crazy, Rich. These people die for this stuff, bro. I mean, I'm like, bro, it's a political party. This isn't like, this can't be a way of life, bro. Come on, dude.
I mean, like, ingraining this stuff into their children's heads.
Yes, dude.
I'm sorry, you're brainwashing your children.
Yes, dude.
And
yes.
And I know we're talking on some real hard shit right now, but you know, I mean,
look, man, I worked in DC, man. I worked in, I kind of got to see a little bit how the politics ran, especially being so close and in a little bit behind closed doors, man. And yo, man, there needs to be more people speaking on this stuff, bro. So by all means, continue, bro.
It's absolutely ridiculous. We need to stop looking at each other, you know. We need to stop looking at each other based off the color of our skin.
Yes, dude.
Stop looking at each other based off of the color of the party that we associate with.
Yes. That needs to be the yes.
That if anything, anyone has made it this far into the podcast, that's what I want you guys to take away from this.
Yeah.
Let's stop looking at people based off of the color of their skin.
Please.
And let's stop looking at people based off of the color of the party that they associate with.
Speak on it. Ooh.
Just because someone is whatever color, black, white, you know, they're a little bit darker brown. We'll call them espresso because from, you know, Mexico. Oh, I went non-PC. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
But